can.
Chicle.
Hey guys, welcome to Chicle Chat. It's your boy Chicle, and we are back at it again with another Broadway review video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a review on Moulin Rouge. But before we get started with today's video, make sure you guys hit the like button, the subscribe button, and that notification bell. And also want to give a quick shout out to my friend Danielle Cooper. We got to see the show on Halloween, and her birthday was the day after, so it was kind of like an early birthday gift. We both had a good time, and yeah. Also, I want to give a shout out to Paloma Garcia-Lee and Holly James. I knew Paloma Garcia-Lee and Holly James from visiting INT as guest teachers, and they're both very fantastic. So yeah, with that being said, let's go and start with the review. Can I just first say that winning the lottery was not easy to do. I've been entering the lottery since previews, and it's been months. And when I just found out that I won the lottery for Moulin Rouge, like I just found out that I was next on the list after somebody unclaimed a lottery. So like, not only that, but I got the can table seating, which I'll explain more about. But man, 29 bucks. I'll tell you more about it later. But for now, let's just talk about Moulin Rouge. Based off of the 2001 movie Moulin Rouge, which I haven't seen. You know, it takes place in Paris. Also takes place at the Moulin Rouge, which is kind of like a club, a cabaret. It takes place in like the 1890s and early 1990s, that time period. And so there was this boy from America named Christian, and he's a songwriter and wants to be a composer. He wants to go to Paris to pursue a dream. He meets up with a couple guys, and the characters' names, I know one of them is Santiago, and the other one I just cannot pronounce, so I just am not gonna try. Even the actor's name was really hard to pronounce, but I mean, he was a really good actor. But anyway, those two are like trying to come up with a plan to get a show produced at the Moulin Rouge. And so Christian joins in, and they try to get him to, you know, get to Santine. Santine is like an actress, a star of Moulin Rouge, and is all about sparkly diamonds. And then she like meets up with the Duke of Madras, will be able to pay for the whole of Moulin Rouge, makes a deal with the guy named Harold Ziegler who runs Moulin Rouge, and will be like, I'll take care of everything, I'll basically own all of you, and Santine will be mine. So it's kind of like he'll help out financially under one condition. And then there's a lot of affair happening, there's a lot of drama, and a lot of crazy dancing, especially with a lot of can kicking. Now let's talk about what I thought about the cast. Starting off with Karen Olivio as Santine. First of all, gorgeous. Just flat out gorgeous. Great singer. Just so passionate and just so, I just love watching her the entire time. Aaron Tveit as Christian. I thought that he was a fantastic singer. He was just, a lot of people having, you know, saying a lot of mixed reviews about this performer. But what I noticed is that he was very grounded most of the time, and I guess people were saying that he was very stiff and very emotionless, but I disagree with that. I thought that Aaron Tveit did a fantastic job. Then we have Danny Bernstein as Harold Ziegler. He needs to win a Tony for Best Featured Actor in a Musical, because that was just a fantastic performance. He made me laugh. He had great dialogue. I love it. Then we have Tam Mutu as the Duke of Madras. He is the antagonist of the show. You could tell that from the beginning that he was very classical and very poised and very formal and very casual. And then throughout the end, you know, he gets very nasty, gets all very, you know, abusive and all about lust and like, you know, tries to get everything his way. He turns into a very nasty guy. I love that transformation. Then we have, okay, I said I was not going to say the name because it's so hard, but I want to say it's Sar Gaha or something like that. That's the name of the actor. He plays Toulouse-Lautrec. Do not slay me in the comments. Him and Ricky Rojas as Santiago. Both of the guys are side characters. Both of them were just really fantastic. I love both of them in the same way. Like, they both did a really good job. The ensemble was on fire. This was the best dance ensemble I've ever seen. They were so good that I had to mention a couple ensemble dancers. So I mentioned about Paloma Garcia-Lee and Holly James, and they both obviously caught my attention because one, I knew them outside of the show, and two, Paloma Garcia-Lee was in the front and center for the majority of the show for a reason. She murdered and killed every dance section. She was just flat out gorgeous, just amazing. Holly, She has sass. I love watching her. There was another guy, because in the beginning, Paloma Garcia Lee, before the show starts, she comes on stage, and then she walks up to, like, one of those cages by, like, the balcony, and starts to, like, do a little dance. And then on the other side, there's another one by the elephant. There's this other guy that starts doing it. I believe it's Kyle Brown. So now let's talk about the music, because this is the greatest thing about Moulin Rouge, is that this is a jukebox musical, but the music was... It's the jukebox musical on steroids, because they used almost every song that I could ever imagine that they would use in a musical, and they made it work. They made people laugh. When as soon as the first verse or first line of a song comes on, they all laugh and knew exactly how it went. Everybody was singing along, which I don't think is appropriate, but still a good sign for a show that kind of shows that they're very engaged and that they love the music. They never do this in a video, and I really need to start doing it for especially the new musicals. This was directed by Alex Timber. Sonia Taya did the choreography. John Logan that did the book. Who was the lyrics and the music one? Was it... Okay. So Justin Living, like, that's a good team. Sonia Taya's choreography, want to get that out of the way, super fantastic. And the music and the book were just both phenomenal. Again, haven't seen the movie, so I couldn't compare the two. The directing was actually really good, I have to admit. The choreography is what stole the show. The beginning, opening number, all the way to the end, there was just so much happening, and I love it so much. I didn't know that Karen and Olivio can dance. Like, that was phenomenal. There's a lot of Tonys that these guys need to be nominated for. You could tell that Moulin Rouge was hungry for the Tonys. Like, you could tell that they needed to be nominated for Tonys. I think that they should be nominated for Best Choreography, Best Lighting and Setting, Best Costuming, because the costumes were just so amazing. And, like, the lighting and design, like, the light was all red and everything. They had props on the sides. They have a freaking elephant and a red windmill. So I think because there was a lot of things that caught my attention, and that, you know, we were just having a good time, we were just clapping along, singing along, and there was a lot of emotion, you know, like, I laughed a little bit. Danielle just couldn't stop crying during Act 2. So you could tell that this is a really good production. So, with that being said, Moulin Rouge, in my opinion, deserves a 14 out of 10. That was just a killer performance. Before we end the video, you're probably wondering, how can you see Moulin Rouge at a very cheap price? You can do what I just did. Win the lottery. Just enter every slot that you're able to see a show, and then you might potentially win. Also, there's a box towards the end, like where it says submit, that says also would like to do the can seating. And all those seats are $29. Then the second method, if you guys want to, like, straight up go to the theater, and if there's like a sold out show, there's this thing called a standing room. Standing room is $50, which is probably the most expensive standing room ticket on Broadway right now, because everything else is like $27, $29, $32. $50 is probably a very expensive standing room ticket, but it's better than spending $160 something on a mezzanine seat. Just imagine those $250 seats in the orchestra. Yikes! That's all I have for today's video. And again, we will be doing another Broadway review next Friday on a new show that's currently on previews. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out!